an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Dana Trucking. Learn more and apply today at danatrucking.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Hurry into Graham Tire Company and take advantage of Black Friday deals going on now. Save $100 instantly with the purchase of 4 Goodyear tires. Get up to $200 additional by mail on select Goodyear tires. Instant rebates on Kumho, Hankook, and Nokian tires too. The Black Friday sale is the last big tire sale of the year. Don't let these deals get away. Stop in today or shop online at GrahamTireLincoln.com. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, expecting increasing cloud cover throughout the day. It'll be a little bit breezy as well. We'll see a high of around 43. Tonight, mainly clear skies are expected with a low of around 19. And tomorrow, most sunny skies will return. We'll see a high of around 46. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. I'm Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We will have Demarne Pierson'El joining us here shortly on the phones, but nonetheless, if you guys want to join in on the show, 402-464-5685 is the Sartor Hammond text line. And definitely feel free to do so. And again, we'll have DeMornay Pierson'El on the phone. We'll go ahead and bring him in now. DeMornay Pierson'El, how's it going, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, how's it going? That's good. I can hear you.
Awesome. Yeah, great to have you in. And again, we have DeMornay Pierson'El brought in on the Allo VIP line. VIP line brought to you by Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. I'm sure the Iowa football game is on your mind. Nebraska loses that one 10-13. They end the season, ironically, kind of in the exact same way they started it, right? You play Minnesota, you play it close, you throw an interception, leads to a game-winning drive. Minnesota wins it 13-10. Iowa, you end the season, you're on the field, you throw an interception, leads to Iowa on a game-winning field goal, wins it 13-10. DeMornay Pierson'El, I just want to get your overall thoughts, initial reactions to Nebraska, misses out on bowling, ends the season on 5 wins once again.
It was a gut punch. That was a hard one to see, especially, the change of events, the interception, and, for things to switch over, we get a ball back and give them position to walk out of here with the win. It was heartbreaking. It made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, I asked Almon Green this. Do you have a game in history that you can remember being one of the biggest gut punches you've had, whether it be NFL, high school, or college?
Not off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure that there's definitely a few. I can't think about it necessarily in high school. High school probably had 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
College, 2014 when we played USC, we played that game for Bo, and we didn't get a win. We scored more points than them offensively. They just had a special teams touchdown. That one hurt. When we went to Oregon in 2017. I fair caught a ball because I heard somebody on our sideline, say fair catch it. And I actually could have, returned the ball and possibly did something with it. And I think 2 plays later, I think we threw a pick. We threw an interception and that ended the game. So that game definitely felt like one of those 2 games just off the top of my head. To be honest, that might have been the worst way to lose it in recent years. All losses are bad, but it's just how that one transpired and everything like that one. That one hurt a little bit more than the others.
Yeah, absolutely. And then why I asked that is I wanted to be curious, how did you bounce back from a loss like that? Because that's been the problem for Nebraska. It just feels like gut punch after gut punch. And again, I said it at the beginning because we ended the season the exact same way we started it. I don't want to bag on Chubba Purdy. First of all, I just want to say that wasn't a linebacker that was sitting there pre-snap. It was a good defensive play call by Iowa to drop the D end there late. Purdy didn't see it pre-snap. That led to the interception. I don't want to bag on him at all, but, what was it for you to kind of get over that hump after you do have a bad, game like that where that taste in your mouth is going to sit there for a while?
It just pushes you all as a team, as individuals. In the summer, just to get better. And, you'll remember that one for, next year and everything like that. That should, a lot of fire under you to be upset at things or whatnot. And you just got to, stack days. There's not really one thing that you got to do to get out of it. Just next year, it can't look like this. And, just remember these feelings, remember, being in these tough losses. And, being in games, like, they're right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just literally, a few plays from things going an opposite way and everything like that. So, I mean, you remember this going on, and the team is actually young. So you got a lot of people that are coming back. You got a lot of people that got experience with people being hurt and having to step up and, young players having to play. So, I mean, it should, push them in the right direction to where next year, they've been through, some adversity. They've been through, those close games and everything like that. And then, hopefully they can turn in favor for us instead of, ending in losses.
Yeah. And obviously they're going to have a busy offseason here, right? You want to figure out the mental thing that's just kind of been plaguing. You don't want to call it a curse, but that's just what it's felt like at times. And then obviously the skill positions, injuries didn't help us at all in that regard, but I still think you wished maybe we could have got a few more guys to help us out there. Lloyd pleasant surprise. His just raw athleticism has given a lot of teams problems, but helped us out. I mean, I don't think too many people would expect that, Lloyd to have 2 long touchdown grabs by the end of the year, but you're still looking at the wide receiver room. You're still looking at the quarterback room, maybe looking at the offensive line room, even though that's a spot where it feels like we've had some depth that we've just been lacking in years past. But with this roster heading into the offseason, go ahead, interject.
I don't understand how you can have a player that has, gotten exposure and done things on the field and you don't involve him more. Especially the past 2 games, he's gone up. We're talking about Jalen Lloyd. Why do you not get him the ball more? Why do you not, scheme him up? You have a quarterback that you would say is a better passer, is a little bit more accurate than what we have been used to. And, you hit Iowa, you got him a play right, where the weakness was and everything like that. Why was he not, involved a little bit more? Or Malachi on deep balls or something like that. I don't understand it. I don't know how you go away from it if it's something that has worked, or to get him more involved and to get him more going and whatnot. It that bothered me the most, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he's dynamic out there. I'll give you that much, right? With Malachi Coleman, he had a good season too. Again, that's just another young guy where he's going to continue to develop. A lot of these guys don't turn out later, but Lloyd to have that immediate splash right off the bat, and he's a guy that when he catches that ball, he's good for yards after the catch too. He's typical going to break at least that first guy that wraps up around him, and just the overall speed to get away from those ankle tackles. Definitely a guy that you'd imagine next year maybe take a little bit of a bigger role. This year, I think we were all kind of hoping for more from Billy Kemp. Injuries made him held him back a little bit. We never had that strong playmaker though. Looking into the portal, is there any groups that you think Nebraska I'm not saying fill out the roster through the portal, but fill in gaps, maybe try to create some competition in the offseason? If you're Matt Rule and his Satterfield, his coaching staff, who are you looking at position groups wise offensively in order to help this team finally get to a bowl game since 2016 next year?
Offensively, I think it's 2 positions of where you need to go to the portal to, 1, strengthen your numbers, to 2, just to get a different look from what we've had. Another thing is you have young guys coming in. You have a talented quarterback in Danny.
Yep.
That's out of Bill West. I know he's coming in, but I mean, you're asking him to kind of step into that type of situation. We've kind of seen that book before.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So, hopefully, you can correct a few things, but the 2 positions, I definitely think they need to go in and attack heavily. I mean, it's a toss-up between 2, but most definitely the quarterback position. We don't know what the situation will look like next year with what the guys are, with the guys that are in the room now. We don't know who's going, who's staying, whose eligibility is done or whatnot and everything like that. So there's that aspect. And then it's a toss-up between offensive line and running back. I know you got people coming in, but still to hand over the workload to a guy that's kind of coming in, or, a redshirt freshman guy. And you can't just have Johnson. He can't just be, the only one. You're losing Grant. He's going and everything like that. So I think, the running back is definitely a position that could use it, and the offensive line. They started gelling a lot better and everything like that. We got kind of thin towards the ending of the season and everything like that. So, beefing that back up and, bringing some guys in for healthy competition and whatnot. I feel like those positions, if you go out and get those and everything like that, I definitely, that will put us in the right direction ahead of the schedule and not kind of just being on track.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I definitely think the running back room, that's just one where I'm just unsure of, like, how bad they need to hit the portal, because you go into this. I mean, Emmett Johnson, the guy who took over, was 4th string at the beginning of the year, and it's kind of hard to imagine that he was even that far back there for how productive he was. So I don't know if there's maybe some more hidden depth in that room to where we need to hit the portal, or if we were just that caught off guard with maybe you were worried about Grant fumbling, and then obviously you do have an injury there with excuse me, yeah, you get another injury there. Grant's fumbling problems, Ramir Johnson gets hurt, and you're left with Emmett Johnson, who actually does a great job.
Mhm.
So maybe you do
Yeah,
look in that running back room, but I've been surprised by, it feels like a little bit of hidden depth there in the running back room. I mean, what'd you see out of the running back room this year? Because it just felt like it was up and down, never super consistent. What does that room need to do in order just to be more consistent going forward? Is that finding like a bell cow early, or is that running back by committee? And were you even happy with how they handled the whole Grant situation?
I'm an avid, person for Grant. I don't think they necessarily used him as much as they should have. I think what they've done the past two games, or when they played Wisconsin, at least I feel like that he should have been more so used in that type of role.
Mhm.
It's funny. I'm not saying I see him as like the Josh Jacobs type style of running, but the other day I was reading and came across something that Josh Jacobs says, with him touching the ball 20 times for him to, be effective and everything like that, of understanding, his style of running and everything like that. And that's kind of like what I've seen with Grant. He has his own style of running, and I don't think that, they got the best out of all of it. And they got on him for something that, other players did, and it wasn't really the same type of thing. I think they probably have, their work bail for next year. I think Johnson, is that person to take the next, step. He's a young guy, that year two and up, you get into a system, you get into a program and everything like that, especially with, the confidence that they established in him early in the season, and, after things had transpired, with guys being hurt and, not plugging in other guys and everything like that. So it's his job to lose. I think you kind of find somebody that complements that. I don't necessarily think you need to go out and get a home run type of guy, but you need somebody who can complement that room well. Because the running back position, you're getting hit every play. You know what I'm saying? We had a guy go down this year. So just getting the depth to where you won't just have to, rely on young guys and just kind of be in a position that you were this year, where he had to step in fourth string, not having too many games and everything like that. So just, kind of crossing your T's and dotting your I's. How they handled the whole running back room, it wasn't, the favorite. I feel like, the first string guy, I can't remember his name. Is it Irving?
Yeah, Irving.
There was a lot of hype about him. I understand what you were trying to do with bringing in a quarterback to, if anything gets, muddy and murky, he can kind of get things done with his legs. But I never really kind of seen what he was doing that was, so stand outish to where a guy like the fourth string guy wasn't. Like, what was he doing so much that, the fourth string guy wasn't getting takes and everything like that. So I'm not too sure, what the process was, what the evaluation of that was or whatnot. Was it just, y'all just went with the guy that was there and kind of went with that? I don't know what the proper procedure of that. I just kind of feel like that was like one of the things that, the ball was dropped on. Luckily, you had a guy that stepped up and, kind of managed everything. But I don't think necessarily like that running back situation should have been that from the jump. That's just me personally speaking.
Yeah, there's two ways to look at this, right? First, the way you look at it is in years past when we had players go down, we'd look down the bench and it felt like there wasn't a single guy we could plug in there and feel comfortable about winning or getting any better offensively, or at least just staying somewhat consistent. This is a year where we've had some players come in off the bench that offense might have even worked a little bit better. I don't know. You can look at it as a bad thing or a good thing, or at least there's some development behind the actual starters. You got to see that a little bit. Obviously, Lloyd's kind of the biggest splash of all the younger guys. Emmett Johnson, you probably put him up there. And then again, Malachi Coleman has that one big touchdown grab. But for the most part, that's something new for Nebraska, where the development, even the linemen that had to step in at one point in the season, it wasn't that severe drop off. So you can question it as, what are they seeing? Are they misevaluating talent during practices? Or B, is the development actually just getting underway well enough that those young guys maybe they don't want to play them right away and continue to develop them. So when they do plug and play, they'll just be that much better and be able to make an impact right away. I do want to get to one more question, though, before we go to our first break here. Again, this is the Don't Punt Hour. Got Demorne Pierson'El on the phone calling in here. Harrison on the 1s and 2s. And if you guys want to join the show, 402-464-5685. And definitely give your opinion on this one, because this is going to be a conversation all summer long. What do we need to do in the quarterback room? You're going to have Jubba Purdy. Do you bring in some competition there to try to have a battle going into the offseason? Or are you looking in the portal for someone where it's obviously going to be a competition, but are you even thinking about Purdy being the starter next year based on what he's had? How do you handle that quarterback situation? Do you grab one quarterback? Do you grab two? Or do you just completely entrust the room right now and develop Daniel Kalen as he continues to develop?
That's a good question. It's a couple ways they can go looking at it. I think overall, with just, trying to, for the well-being, I think you go grab a guy that you like, that you think, that would bring the best out of guys, and have him and Chuba, if he stays, because you may never know what happened with that.
Yeah, true.
You have Chuba, and then to, kind of go in at spring ball and evaluate, and then coming into fall camp and everything like that to better evaluate stuff and everything like that. These coaches, got here. They inherited a team. So the guys that's kind of there, they're not technically like their type of guys. Satterfield has a feel for, what he wants and everything like that. Being a part of a coaching change and understanding, when new coaches came in, respecting guys who they had there, but they want the type of players that fit what they're trying to go. I think he'll definitely be heavy on that. And we don't know with the Danny kid, a young player coming in, maybe that going back to, the running back room, maybe that's why, the fourth string guy was the fourth string guy, just because it was a lot to handle, pass pros and everything like that. So with Danny coming in, there might be, a learning curve, and it's not, it happens everywhere. You got to pick up everything fast. You got to know a lot of stuff and everything like that. And then on top of that, you got to play good. And that's a hard thing to do for the quarterback position early on. I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm not saying that he won't do it. I'm just saying, that's just you coming in, new offense, new plays, your head spinning, you in college and everything like that. So you got that stuff, coming into it. It can be done. You just never know how a kid is gonna, handle that type of pressure of, okay, well, you're the guy coming in and everything is on you. So it's depending on how he looks on it, how they look at it. I think they need to go get a guy, regardless, that if anything happens or whatnot, to challenge who they got there. And it's better to have multiple options in that room. I think they found that out this year, rather than just, doing something that was a little, unorthodox.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think that's how you evaluate it. You see what happened when you go all in on something, and he's been the same thing everywhere he's been, and you let a guy that probably could have done a little bit better job just leave because you had a guy that you wanted, and that's what it was supposed to be. So hopefully he learns from that lesson, and we're not in that position next year.
And Thompson did hit the portal again. Would you bring him back? Not that I don't think he actually would come back, but
he has another year.
I'm pretty sure he. Well, let me double check on that. I'll bring it up on the next break there. But real quick, from the text line before we throw it to break here, we do have Jim. Pretty much agrees with both of us. Yes, bring in competition. One QB from the portal. I'm all there for it, right? I just want to see competition. If Purdy ends up being the starter through the competition, great. If it's somebody else, great. I just want there to be at least the competition heading in. It just felt like this year was kind of Jeff Sims, and that's our quarterback. And obviously the approach didn't seem to work. I'm not in the rooms, but that's definitely the way it felt going into the season. And he also says, I hope Archie Manning comes here. That would be really nice. Wouldn't be too optimistic about that one, but yeah, it would be nice to get some talent in here. Nonetheless, we'll throw it to break here on the first segment of the Don't Punt Hour. Got Demorne Pierson'El, the host as always, on the phone today, brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the next two segments up next. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Southeast Community College invites you to check out our spaces ahead of your official campus visit. Our virtual campus tours let you see our campuses and learn more about our programs of study. Then you can schedule your individual visit in person or virtually. Virtual tours of our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, or Milford, and our learning centers are online at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Only thing we should be talking about right now is turnovers. So what if we lose? We don't do anything else. Let's not turn the ball over. Let's see what happens if we play a clean game.
You asked earlier, how many games have they lost by 3? And it's 3 of them. And they've had 12 turnovers in those 3 games. They're minus 7 in those 3 games in the turnover department.
So that's what I mean. Turnovers, you control those. If we can control that, you can get to 6 wins and maybe set yourself up for an exciting Black Friday game against the Iowa no offense Hawkeyes.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for high-quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to the Don't Punt Hour. We got the host, as always, Demorne Pierson'El, streaming in on the Allo VIP line, Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. And I definitely can't recommend Allo enough. If you've had any of the other internet providers here in Lincoln, I'm sure you all understand Allo is definitely the way to go. But Demorne, we were talking about the Iowa game. Nebraska loses, another heartbreak. What is that, 4, 10 and 13 games we've lost? You got Minnesota, you got Maryland, you got Iowa. Am I missing one, Demorne?
I think that was it.
Yeah, so you got
I think you got them all.
3. Unfortunately, I got them all. So 3 brutal 10 to 13 losses. And again, if you guys want to join the show there, 402-464-5685 is the Starter Heyman text line. Always feel free to join in the show. We appreciate all the feedback. Comment, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo channel 951 as well. But I'll be honest, even though Nebraska fell on the wrong side of the Iowa game, it was a pretty awesome hate week. There was a lot of great games in there throughout the entire day. I wanted to ask you about the Alabama and Auburn game, because that one came down to the very stretch. Auburn, it felt very Nebraska-esque, where Auburn had pretty much the game in hand, and Alabama throws an absolute dot at the end of the game into the corner. Were you able to catch the Auburn-Alabama game?
Yeah, I seen it. That was a crazy way for that how to happen. That was I know Auburn fans hurt after that one.
Oh my God, yeah, that one's got to. I mean, because Auburn, they weren't necessarily flying high into that game either. I think they got beat down the week before, just barely escaped. But it wasn't a game where not a lot of confidence was there for Auburn. But Alabama fighting for their life to keep their playoff chances alive now. How do you shake off this college football playoffs? Because that's where I want to go with this. Because you're probably going to have at this point, you can't deny Michigan, unless something crazy happens with the allegations and it throws them out. But I don't see that happening. You're going to keep Georgia in there. I think even if Alabama and Georgia play, if Georgia takes a loss, I'd assume you still keep them in the playoffs. An undefeated Washington team, depending on what happens for Oregon, Washington, and the Pac-12 championship. And then, of course, Texas maybe has a sneaky chance to slide in there. I think if Alabama loses to Georgia in that SEC title game and Texas is able to come out undefeated, you might see Texas even slide in there and take that final spot. It's really coming down to Florida State winning out, all these teams winning out, basically. How do you see this playoff bracket last year for the 4 teams only shaking out as it stands right now? Obviously, the Ohio State-Michigan game was a big one. Ohio State falls short. Their odds of getting in, maybe not so great now.
That's a hard one because it's a lot of
ifs on the line.
It's a lot of ways it can go. It depends, if Georgia does win the SEC championship or not. It depends, what happens with Oregon and
Washington.
Yeah. So if it stays how it is, I think your Final Four should probably be Georgia. I think Michigan will probably be 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then
probably
Michigan. Then Washington will be 3, and that last spot's a toss-up.
Yeah, it's got to be Florida State if they go undefeated, right? Like, there's no way you can shake those guys out.
You would think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know.
What if Washington loses to Oregon? Because they beat them once, but if they meet again in the Pac-12, if Oregon beats Washington in the conference,
if Oregon beats Washington, Oregon will be in, and Ohio State will jump up because then they're all in the same shift.
Okay, yeah. It's definitely going to come down to conference championship weekend here. Now, selfishly, ignore the resumes, ignore the ifs and buts about the Pac-12 championship. What are the best 4 teams, regardless of records, that you would want to see in this college football playoff that you think would give you the best bang for buck of the legit best 4 teams in college football? I know James Madison's one of them.
No, it's not. I don't like nothing. nothing against them.
Lesser competition. I'm just, yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's just different, you know.
Mhm.
So I mean, and you know, that shout out to Virginia School doing well and everything like that. But I still think I think Georgia for sure.
Mhm.
I think Michigan. If the quarterback from Florida State was still healthy,
Yeah.
I would think he would be up. The Florida State would be up there, but I want to see Ohio State with some of those other teams that go at it. So Georgia, Michigan, I think Washington and Ohio State. I think those are the best 4 teams in the nation. That's just my opinion.
I'm with you there. Watching Ohio State, I thought Michigan would beat them a little more handedly than they did. Because you look at that first half, they were man on coverage and they were just blanketing the entire wide receiver core for Ohio State. The only real way they could move the ball was Marvin Harrison early, and then later they started to break it open. But I was impressed by Ohio State. Not the result, but you got to think, if they don't miss that field goal heading into halftime, that's a completely different game. Unfortunately, he drills it, but they called a timeout, and then he has to go back out there after icing the kicker. The Ohio State misses the second one, and that kind of just changed the whole ball game there. But I'm with you. I think with Florida State, it's just unfortunate with the quarterback. If they went out, they deserve to be there, despite the quarterback.
Sure.
But if I had to pick just on what I think would be the best games, yeah, I'm definitely sliding Ohio State back up there. I was impressed how they handled that Michigan team, because that Michigan team, they really haven't been pushed around all year. What do you see in Ohio State, and is there any shot for them to maybe get back? It would have to be, I would say, would you take a one-loss Ohio State team over any of the Pac-12 or go ahead?
I think any one of the teams that I think if Washington loses or if Georgia loses, there's a chance that they can get back in there. Even if Georgia loses to if Georgia loses to Bama, I don't think that should put Bama in there. To be honest, that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me personally. Like I'm tired of seeing Alabama. Like it's the same thing. Their offense has been as inconsistent as some of the other teams in college football. They have a good team, but don't get me wrong. But I don't want to see them. Like I don't want to see it.
Well, they barely escaped by Auburn, so it is a game where you're not sure what brand of Alabama football you get if they do make the playoffs. They've been, like you said, up and down.
They've had their issues on the offensive side of who's that quarterback, so they've had some of the same problems as a lot of people in college football. So that's what I'm saying. Like even if Georgia loses, I don't think that should squeak Alabama back in the top 4. That's just something I don't want to see.
Well, I would put Texas over Alabama, because I know Texas has got the win over Bama, and that's just kind of where I see it. Like I would put.
I'm not picking Texas for nothing. I'm not picking
Spoken like
Texas
a Husker
for nothing.
I can respect that.
Nothing. I don't want to see Texas either. No.
Okay, so that's fair enough. So no Texas, but I will say when it comes to Washington, I do hope Washington gets in over Oregon. I just think with Michael Penix Jr.
That game, the Pac-12 championship scares me, because I know Washington has been playing dominant and everything like that, but it's hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah,
it's hard to beat a team twice.
Well, and they almost lost to him the first time. It came down to an awesome game-winning drive there, but Michael Penix Jr. down the stretch there, he put a few of them together, but it wasn't looking great for them early in that fourth quarter.
I think that's the game to watch with bowl game coming up. With the championship weekend coming up, I think that's definitely a game that a lot of people will be tuned in. I think he'll win the Heisman. I know people are talking about the guy down at LSU and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a remarkable season too, but I think the guy in Washington has that one. He's just been lights out and definitely been the best quarterback, the top quarterback probably in college football. It's another guy here and there, but I definitely think he's established himself for what he is.
Yeah, I think it's between You're looking at Washington quarterback, the LSU quarterback, and I think anything outside of that, you're looking at skill positions. I don't think there's another quarterback that you'd really throw up there in the Heisman race. I'm still a pretty firm believer in that Marvin Harrison might be the MVP. We saw what he's been able to do pretty consistently. And again, against that Michigan team that is elite on defense, he was able to create separation, get space, get his own operation going there. And they do a good job feeding him the ball. But it's going to be an awesome conference championship kind of weekend. Are you ruling the Pac-12 championship as the best one to watch this weekend?
With what's at stake, yes.
Yeah, it's either that or the SEC.
What's at stake, yeah. I'm tired of seeing Bama and I'm tired of seeing Bama and Georgia go at it. Oregon, they might jump up there if they happen to do win. You know, that's something. It's a lot on the line. So I definitely think that's the most exciting game, just because they got the most what's on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I count on you tuning in for the Big Ten championship game? That's going to be a thriller. You got Iowa Hawkeyes once again. Somehow the Hawkeyes versus Michigan. Who would you rather see win?
Us. Neither one of them. I don't care. I don't like it. If we not winning it, I don't want to see it. It doesn't matter. That's going to be a slow game. I don't think it's really going to be a high scoring. Well, I think Michigan will be the high scoring game, the high scoring side. I don't think. I don't think Iowa will put up 10 points. To be honest.
I don't think so either. They're going to be in a world of hell, I think, in that game. I don't think that's going to be close at all. Just from the outside looking in, maybe it's close, but in reality, like, it might be where the score isn't super widespread, but it's never going to feel close for Iowa. I feel like that offense, just good luck doing anything against that Michigan defense that's been a kind of a bigger stalwart than even Iowa's defense has at times. And they got an offense that can at least back that defense up. So should be a game where they not only beat them offensively and defensively, the only side where they can really fall is special teams. But, man, we got 2 blocked field goals on Iowa last week, and it was a weird game where we actually won the special teams battle. It's not one that you'd think of when playing Iowa, but Nebraska would walk away and win the special teams battle on that one. Definitely be one to tune into. We have to go ahead and throw it to our second break here, though. And if you guys want to join in on the show, 402-464-5685 is the Sartor Heyman text line. We got Demorne Pierson'El on the line here, brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. Don't go anywhere. I'm Harrison. Demorne Pierson'El on the line. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group are Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
But it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs
And sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner.
or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity not to make friends, but just to get something to eat. Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, expecting increasing cloud cover throughout the day. It'll be a little bit breezy as well. We'll see a high of around 43. Tonight, mainly clear skies are expected with a low of around 19. And tomorrow, most sunny skies will return. We'll see a high of around 46. Meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs
And sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner.
or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment of the Don't Punt Hour with host as always, Morning Pierson'El on the line joining me. And again, brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. And again, can't recommend Aloe enough. Great service here in Lincoln. But nonetheless, the Morning Pierson'El, we got a little bit of time here left. I wanted to get through the gut punch Iowa game before we got to some of the better news. Just real quick, how was your Thanksgiving, man? I know you were gone for the weekend. You got some time off. How was your Thanksgiving break?
It wasn't too bad, I ended up cooking for myself and a couple other friends and everything like that. So everything turned out good. The yams turned out excellent. So I had a good break. It wasn't no complaints.
What were you whipping up? You got turkey, ham, turducken. What do you go to as your main entree?
No, I don't. See, I don't eat pork. I know swine, but so I cooked. I cooked a 3-cheese baked macaroni and cheese. I cooked some candy yams. I cooked the whole chicken, and then I had some friends, bring pie, some sweet potato pie. They brought some collard greens and a couple drinks. And so that was my evening. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, that sounds like a move right there. You got the mac and cheese in there. That's an essential one, and you got to have that perfect crust on there. What is the one side? Maybe it is the mac and cheese. What's the one side that has to be there every Thanksgiving meal for you?
It has to be the mac and cheese, but like it's not only the mac and cheese. Like it's the mac and cheese and the yams. Like when they get mixed together a little bit and everything like that, like you gotta have it. You can't. It's like salt and pepper. You can't have just salt and no pepper. Like, they go. It's like yin and yang. They go together.
I'm with you there. What about any Thanksgiving football? Did you bring it out in the backyard at all?
Not usually. Yeah. If I was home, typically, people put on like a turkey bowl where kind of has-beens and whatnot, or old teammates kind of get together. And then they got like a little bit more competitive, like turkey bowl, where they're going play and everything like that. I didn't participate in any of that this year. I'm still, recovering from my injury, so I took this year off. But I'm back next year.
It's probably a smart move. Yeah, I make a big deal out of it. It's one of the few times I get to feel myself out as a 5-star prospect out there on the Thanksgiving football game. So I got to take advantage of it year in, year out. But no, that's awesome, man. And it's great to have the great Thanksgiving weekend here. And it'll be exciting when you get back down here in the studio, because we got all the Christmas decorations up here. And that's just kind of a wide shout out for everyone listening. Obviously, Mill's closed tonight, but if any of you guys do want to stop in tomorrow, we got the Christmas decorations up, 1040 O Street. You can hang out, grab a cup of Joe, maybe a bite to eat as well, meet some of the on-air talent, and just hang out with the Ticket crew as always. But that is going to be it for the Don't Punt Hour. I'm Harrison Arns. Demorne Pierson'El calling in through Aloe VIP, again, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. Again, always shout out Aloe VIP for all the great work they do for us. But that's going to wrap up the Don't Punt Hour. Don't go anywhere. We have Speed and Power with Megan Walker up next. Great show as always. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.